Okay, here's something that I think will be interesting for you sitting. If you could go back to the way you
Back
were,
to my
but
seated.
you could face forward for this. I'd
Okay.
like to be able to see your whole. No, nice. Okay, a little further, a little further. There. Okay. Okay, so you're sitting there. Um, let's start with your. Boy, left and right is a big issue for me.
Left,
Left. Okay,
right.
thank you. So let's start with your left leg, just a sample.
Okay.
First of all, just notice what's going on at the bottom of your feet. You can feel a little pressure you can feel the contact with the floor, right?
Hmm.
Just be interested in what it feels like to be your foot and leg.
Okay.
Just have a little background. Now, gently pick up your right knee a bit. Hold it there for a second. Now, coming down, not yet, use a direction. Now, does that foot feel any different than the other?
Feels lighter.
Yeah, now you could do it with the same thing with the other one. Okay, and a mindful arrival at the floor.
I got it. Okay.
So they both felt lighter, I assume.
Right.
So that tells you I must have been doing something I didn't need to do.
Gosh. Yes, but
That's life. Now,
that's
let's, if you would, instead of having your hand just for this, the hands sort of flat on your thighs. No, yeah, just there. I know that's not how you normally sit, and now here again, just notice that contact between your hands and your thighs and raise your right hand a little bit and lower it. And when you gets near the bottom, a direction. Sense the difference there?
yeah, it feels lighter than my left hand.
And you can do the same thing with the left. So, and that's a nice little exercise that will help you catch any little excess tension building up.
Hmm.
Now, you could make those movements very tiny. So, no, you could make them like minuscule. Oh, yeah. And you could do that in a way if you're sitting at a meeting, because we're talking about the real world here where you probably don't want to do, but little movements. Yeah. Just barely getting the hands off. No, even less. Yeah, I would go for yes, and then direction on the way down. Same thing with your feet. Just the time. You almost don't even have to take it off the ground.
You just need to get your heel up,
You
basically.
just need to get a retreat from the position so that you can return to the position using a
Yeah,
drill.
okay. You could almost rock your feet a
Oh, you
little.
need some tiny thing. And see
Suppose
what
the same thing is happening in my arms and my legs
you know how we talked
and my
about
back.
sitting at concerts and stuff where you might want
Yeah.
to rotate a little bit around your sits bone. Well, here's the same is this sort of a variant on that. You're making a little tiny change and then going back to the earlier position. Actually, position's not exactly the right word, but it's okay. You're just giving yourself a chance to redo the experience of the arrival at the firm surface because in that movement where the pedal meets the metal is the arrival process.
Yeah. I literally just watched.
You're not saying, okay, maybe I don't know whether I'm feeling a little tense or not, but it's not going to cost me anything to do some little tiny, yeah, like that, and same thing, yeah.
So
And
what's the difference? And I think I know the difference, but when you sit down
Mhm.
and you do a slight adjust, right? Too much. You don't need it, right? So like I sit
I
down,
think honestly, I think the adjustment that I saw you do earlier, that's just some habit. It has nothing to do
right,
with actually adjusting anything.
on a need.
Or it may have been something useful at some time in the past. Maybe if you had an injury or something, things like that could cause it.
Mm,
Mainly, it's just a habit that you don't need. And there's some
right.
habits right here of adding a little tension to my arms or to my legs that I don't need. And you can do that while you're teaching. You can do it in meetings. You can do it anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. I like that.
So those are some things to experiment with. You
Okay.
can also experiment doing constructive rest.
Hmm.
Excuse me, same thing, lifting feet, lifting a hand, a tiny
Oh, yeah.
wherever they're at. And
Sure.
what's happening up here with your head, you could say,
Uh-huh.
well, I want to know whether I'm really giving the weight of my head to the books. So
Mm.
I'm going to find out by lifting it almost like it's almost not a lift. It's just a little lift, little not quote resting, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then mine with the direction. Okay, now with that direction, I'm going to let the head arrive back at the book.
Hmm.
You could do this at night in bed with a pillow. You know,
Yeah.
this constructive rest is a really good place to explore this, but any activity you do.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to using that in constructive rest. I love constructive rest now.
Yeah, well, constructive rest can be a really powerful platform for exploring these
Mhm.
kind of subtle movements that we've been talking about, or even
Mhm.
larger movements like bending a knee, putting it back down,
Mhm.
an arm, putting it back down. But you can do
Mhm.
the subtle stuff too, and that's what I'm sort of focusing on right now.
Yeah, okay. Good. Can I take notes on that? Or do
Please,
you need me to stay back?
no, no, I think definitely. And I think probably go ahead and take if you have take your time to write it down. Um,
So not quickly, just do it well, not
yeah,
quickly.
do it exactly. There's no rush here at all. Even as you write, your hands are not needing to do any rushing.
And that is a concept I need to study and really practice. And neither one of those is the right word. Explore.
You need practice. That's what
Hmm.
there's no one can come in there and just fix you. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Uh, you have to just do it's all about experiments and not having any, and we talked about this a lot, but not having any expectations,
Hmm.
and especially not sneaking in some subtle variant of an expectation.
Mm.
Might want to reread that blog post called Not Even a Teeny Weeny Bit, if you still have it.
Okay.
Um, because that problem of helping or anticipating is a form of help. I mean, it's like you got an idea what's going to happen, but the truth is you really don't. I mean, you potentially can just every time you sit down or stand up or do anything,
Yes.
it could be the first time you ever did it.
Hmm. Okay.
Or it could be different from any other time before. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Don't forget, it's your standing, it's your sitting, it's your legs, it's your arms. It's not about standing, sitting, arms in general. It's about what am I doing with them right this moment?
Yeah.